Is brought to you by Society Art Valerie. This exclusive gallery features local and international artists showcasing their extraordinary artistic talents. This fine gallery may also serve as a venue for your special events. You can find them on Instagram and online at societyart.ca. Thank you, Society Art Valerie. And now we return you to your podcast.
We're back!
You look great.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you.
It's been a long time, but it's good to be back.
Yeah, good, I'm glad. You look rested.
Yes, thank you.
It's been a hot minute.
You look rested now because you're busy.
Yeah. It's
What?
wedding season. It's wedding season.
Did you just? Oh, okay. That's why I thought because she got married.
Well, 3 months now.
Well, that's work. The wedding planning is nothing compared to that. When you have to train the husbands.
Oh my God.
And some of them can be trained.
Train husbands.
Some of them can be trained. They're hard heads.
Did you just say train husbands?
I did, yeah.
Welcome to Wedding Chimes with Val and Divorce Court. Like, what the hell is it?
They don't understand that the women decide.
They
just
don't
like
get
to
it. It's
be-
all good.
No, it's like, okay.
It's fun to be back. And you know what's funny is, well, I mean, we took a little bit of a break. It's summer. It's quieter season for everybody. Well, quieter. We need vacation. People need vacation.
We need vacation, yes.
And
That's for sure.
and it is busy season for you, myself
yeah,
as well.
It's coming along nicely.
Is it? Yeah.
I can't complain. It's never a dull moment, but it's all good.
Never a dull moment. How have the weddings been?
Busy, good. So far, so good. I can't complain.
Good.
Yeah.
All good moments. I wanted to say that. Now I'm just waiting for the galleries to be delivered to me. All the pictures.
Amazing. Speaking of galleries, Society Art. Look.
True.
Nice segue.
Right? You like that, hey?
Nice segue.
But like honestly, isn't this a nice set? Do you guys
It's
like
very
it?
modern.
It's isn't it the
I
coolest
feel
thing?
like upgraded. You know, it's like we're here.
We're moving up in the world.
It's
That's
true.
what it is.
That's what we're doing at Wayne Chance with Val. So
We're
Yes.
moving up. We've got to tell the people that this is a beautiful art gallery in Montreal on St. Hubert Street.
Yes.
With amazing art for sale.
Yes.
yeah, it's true. It is
And
for sale.
since this is Wedding Chimes with Val, you know, if you're looking for a place to have a little engagement party,
True.
That's
Yeah.
really
how cool is it? A DJ rocking at the art
It's
gallery, you
true.
lower the lights, you see all the artwork around you.
Yeah, it's
And
very elegant.
And
very
it's,
That's
it's
very, very
artwork
true.
from
Yeah.
around the world. There's
Yeah.
artists from New York, from Miami,
That's nice.
of course, local artists from here.
And it's very
amazing.
modern too. Like it gives you like that inner city modern vibe.
Right.
Yeah,
So if you want something a
absolutely.
bit different on your typical, banquet hall. why not?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It's-
exactly.
I love
it
it.
gives you that edge over anybody else because
gonna
it's
say.
And you see
unique
him
and
walking right
different.
behind. The main man is right there. He's right there.
There.
Look at him. You see that
There.
guy right behind you? He's the guy.
He's the guy.
He's the guy. Emerge.3 on Instagram. He's phenomenal.
Awesome. So,
There, look, he's blowing kisses.
it's all about the love.
So back to Wedding Chimes. We're smack in the middle of wedding season.
Yes.
And is there something that stuck out to you in the weddings that you've done?
Honestly, nothing. I mean, every wedding's unique. Like I always say, every wedding
Of
is
course,
so
yeah.
unique and so different. But I think the top, what I like to say at weddings are coffee stations, coffee bars.
Yes.
So if I could,
That sounds
if
good.
I could always give advice to my clients, get a coffee station, and I mean that everyone will be happy. Vendors, guests, everyone will be happy.
Very
for
true.
Nice.
I confirm that.
That's one thing I do like to see, and I'm seeing more and more of a trend of it. So I'm really happy about that because I get coffee, you get coffee, we all get coffee. So it's
And we're all wired.
exactly, and we're
we
set.
literally, I had a wedding Saturday and Sunday, 2 different venues, and the first venue had a coffee machine.
Yeah.
It was great. They actually had Cafe Milano come.
Yeah,
in.
I worked with them before.
And it was amazing, and the band was so happy. And the Sunday, like they had the regular coffee,
But that's still
but it wasn't. Yeah, but they left. They drove to go and get coffee because for us, because there wasn't the specialized coffee wasn't
Right,
there. I'm not, the venue is a beautiful place. It's just that, you know, they didn't think of having specialty coffee.
But that's
kind of thing.
one thing I always recommend my clients get
It's
a coffee
really cool.
station. It's so worth it. Just
Meanwhile,
wish I could bring one home.
it's just for Val. It's just for Val. It's just so I can have my coffee.
Hey.
Station.
move over. I'm here. Give me the goods. I want the coffee.
Oh my God, that's
So-
funny. So the coffee station is what stuck out to you?
I always, and also like coffee station and like very like personalized, like little touches to make your wedding more special.
Gotcha.
That's one thing I always like to encourage my couples. Like, is it a thank you note? Is it like something your favorite will be another podcast, but you
Yeah.
know, little things here and there that make a big difference. That I would always
Absolutely.
recommend.
For sure.
Sweet.
Sweet,
And
sweet.
so that being said, now we're on today's topic.
Yes.
I'm excited.
It-
I'm excited about all the topics. I say
So-
that at the beginning of every podcast.
But it's
I'm
very
excited.
informative topics.
I love it.
And it gives you some good advice. So today we're going to be talking about like wedding shows and are they worth going to as a bride to be. So with that being said, I always get asked by my clients, you know, anyone getting married, is it actually worth going as a bride to be? And I always tell them yes. Because it's basically like, so any wedding show, there's so many around Quebec, Montreal, you name it. You can find one that fits your needs. But one thing is you get a chance to actually meet the people behind the business and you actually get to talk to them and have a conversation. Mind you though, is very fast paced and there's a lot of people.
Yeah.
So what I always suggest is to pick a few vendors because sometimes they have like the vendors going to be there. So if there's example a florist you really want to see and you're like, oh, I can maybe talk to them more in person before I book them, that's what I suggest you do. And I always tell my clients that book with me, I sometimes get perks like free tickets, you name it, whatever, so it helps if you do want to go to any wedding show. And I always tell them, example, if I'm at a wedding show, right, an exhibitor, and they're like, oh, do you know if our florist is going to be there or if the florist want to book? And I'm like, let me check. And if they are, I'm like, you could go see them. You know, you could talk to them. But there's some vendors out there that just want to sell and push what they're selling, trying to sell. So it could be overwhelming. So just be aware of that. Go in with an open mind, and you might be pleasantly surprised at who you'll run into, or you might actually like a product or a service that you might not have thought of with a planner or no planner. I mean, it's a good way to get your feet wet get your feet wet.
Wet, yeah.
Yeah,
bit.
just a bit.
Yeah.
Because wedding planning is very overwhelming, so I figured any wedding show, the one maybe nearby where you live, wherever, it's worth going for sure, because it gives you an idea of what's really out there, not just a Google search.
Well, what's nice too is that they also showcase, if I remember correctly, I had gone and they show you at the time the wedding dresses.
Yeah, they still
and
do
all
that.
right?
Some do still do that.
Okay.
So
And they have a model runway or something? Yeah.
And
okay.
it's so cool because you get to see everything for your wedding. So you have venues, limos, planners, if you didn't book one already, florists, photographers.
You didn't book Val.
Just saying.
Just saying.
You know, you name it, they're all going to be there and it's good, but it could be very overwhelming. So I always suggest go see like maybe max 5 booths and then leave, because if not,
It could also be costly.
It-
I didn't know we could have that.
yeah, it could be. And that's
Exactly.
another thing too. It could
And
add
the
to your
husband saying,
budget.
fuck.
Damn it.
And what's nice too, but that's the thing too. So go in mind, just go with an open mind. Honestly,
no, you can't go with an open
like
mind.
just
You have
see,
no pocketbook.
just see what's out there in that sense of what's really out there in your city. You know.
Yeah.
So if you know specifically a vendor is going to be there, I say go see them, go ask questions, because that's maybe the only chance you'll get to talk to them.
Yeah.
Besides over the phone or by email.
Yeah.
So that's what I suggest, because the majority of the wedding shows happen in November. So it's like sort of quiet season for some vendors before, you know, it picks up. So definitely they might have more time to answer questions, and maybe you feel rushed, but if you want to get like some answers before you book a consultation with them, I'd say that's the time to do it. And they even might showcase their work.
That's good.
So a florist to be like, oh, I like those flowers, you know, this, that, so it's better that way.
Okay.
I feel like it's better than a Google search. So sometimes it's better to see who you're going to be working with too, to see if you hit it off. Are they a good person? You know, what's their true intention, so to speak? Because some vendors just want to push, or they have like example like raffles or sales or prizes, whatever, you name it. But the point is to just go talk to them and to see their work. So that's the best advice that I could give a bride-to-be or soon-to-bride-to-be, just to be, go there, have fun, and you can even go with your like bridesmaids, maid of honor, your parents, whoever, to make it fun too, because then you could assign your entourage to go see other vendors for you. So you could like actually network, saying, okay, you go see them, get their brochures, get information, and you can make them, and you can make the most of the show. So you split everyone up, you meet up at the end, and then you have all the information you need.
Have you done some?
Yeah, I've done a few wedding shows, and I must say, as an exhibitor, those shows, it was worth it, because I get to meet a whole bunch of new clients that maybe would never found me online, or maybe didn't hear my name. But it happened a few times at the shows that they would see me on, let's say, Instagram or Facebook or on website or wherever, and they actually get to talk to me in person.
Yeah, so that's great.
So that's fun too. As an exhibitor too, I get to meet a whole bunch of new clients, potential clients. And what's nice is I also get to see my vendors that I work with too. Like, it's like a little follow. It's like, hey, how are you doing? Nice to see you after how many times did I work with you? So it's a nice little get together too for all the vendors. So it's really, all in all, it's a really nice day to go and just have fun. My advice is not to overthink it. Don't overdo it. Just go there, see what's out there, because then you could refine what you're looking for, saying, hey, wait a second. I saw example 4 photographers that day. I know what your style is. I know what they showcase. I didn't like that one, but I prefer. Now I could go have a consultation with that one and avoid, let's say, the other 3, right?
Yeah.
And you could say, hey, because some are like, they have their calendar with them. They're like, oh, you're available for a wedding date, example. They might say no, but you're like, okay, well, I'm not going to bother, because there's no point, right, in contacting them, because they're not free. So it could help narrow down to who your vendors are and who you want to work with. It's better than Google's, better than a website, because some of that could be misleading, but if you actually get to meet that person, the vendor in question in real life, it could really help a lot.
Now, is there anything that, let's say, a bride-to-be or let's say a couple, 'cause sometimes you have to drag the man because he's paying.
Sometimes, I see them sometimes. Not always, but they sometimes go as couples,
But is there something they should bring with them? Is there anything that they should know before going to one of these shows? Because like you said, it could be overwhelming. Everybody wants everything.
Yeah, I say,
right?
do your research of the vendors. Like, say, go see the ones you want to book, or you want to maybe book them or learn more about them. Also go with, like I said, like, not a calendar, but when you're free for meetings, for consultations, because some vendors might be like, hey, we could book a consultation when you're free, so you have to come ready saying, we're free these days, whatever. So don't just say, oh, whenever. No, when are you free, because you mean business. You're also there to do your research too on them. It's like you're interviewing them. It's like you come ready with everything. And also, I'd say, bring a notepad, because to write things down or to keep notes of something, like not your phone, because you might lose that note or whatever, might get deleted. It happens. Things happen. Okay.
Another thing is that trends. There's always trends happening.
Yeah, you always say that. It's very true. The trends.
There's oh my God, it's so
all the
trendy.
time. And that's another thing too, to see the trends too. Like, what's the style for the year to come? What's happening? The dresses. What are the new styles of dresses, right? Or what are the veils like? The colors too. So you get to see everything in one place. So at the end, when you leave there, the goal is to feel confident for everyone, saying, okay, I know it's happening. I don't have to no more guess and search, because you met all the specialists at the show. And most wedding shows that I know about, they make sure that the vendor is legitimate and they're actually running a business in Montreal, and they're there for the right reasons. They don't just pick anyone. They actually do somewhat of a check of the business. So rest assured, that's safe, and they good intentions, and that they're there for the right, not just because whatever to fill a booth. No, you mean business when you're there as an exhibitor.
That's fantastic.
And like I said, don't be, I want to say, overwhelmed, because some vendors, what I personally don't like as an exhibitor, and teach their own, everyone does what they want to do, but some exhibitors like, oh, if you book with me today, you'll get a discount. Be careful of that, because sometimes that vendor might get like 30-40 people booked that day because of that sale, but make sure they follow through with you and they respect that, like the discount they give you from the show. So be careful of those ones. Again, everyone runs their business how they want to run their business, but as an exhibitor, just beware of those ones, because they'll pull you and saying, oh, if you book at the show, you get 30% off on your, let's say, your package with us. you're like, okay, I want to move ahead, but make sure that that vendor does follow up with you and that you have it in writing or something, because they might forget, because again, they meet how many other clients at the show, right? So, so remember too, it's a busy day for us exhibitors too. So it's a lot for both of us. So just keep that in mind.
Now,
I'd want to say that's the safest thing to do.
so if you go to the wedding show, because many people might not know.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
go there and they say, book with me.
Yeah.
They ask for a deposit, or do they? I mean, so you have to be
Yeah.
ready.
So
right?
that's the thing. When you say book with me, and again, every exhibitor, every vendor is so different how to do it. Some say, oh, if you book with me today, sign, example, some might even have a contract with them. You sign, deposits are usually done after, but just make sure that you don't feel rushed to go with them because they're offering 30% off. Hey, if that's the vendor you want to work with, great. It's a win for you. You get 30% off the package. But they try to some vendors try to upsell you with that. So they might give you the most expensive package, and maybe you don't need the most expensive one. You get what I'm saying?
Okay,
So there is 30% on what package. Is it all packages, or is it just the highest one because I want to push more sales? So keep that in mind too. Like, look, do your research, do everything,
Well,
the
yeah.
trends. You know, be careful of that. You know, be very, very vigilant of that.
Also, to keep in mind that, I mean, I'm a vendor, so I've done it.
I was gonna
numerous-
say you're a vendor
Yeah.
too. We're both vendors.
And you know what? Sometimes that 30% in this type of business, that 30% is like we do a bunch of weddings.
Yeah.
So you give a 30%. We'd like to give, like, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
We'll give a percentage off, or we might play with the price.
Right.
If it's that one date that's, you know, we just didn't
Exactly
sign,
that
it's
too. Yeah.
close.
You never know at that point. Yeah.
But when it's so far in advance, and if they're giving you a 30% just for booking that day, let's say they book 5 contracts.
You don't know. You don't know how many they booked. You have
right?
no idea.
So then they book another 3 at full price. All of a sudden, you go to the bottom of
Yeah.
the list because they're going to
Exactly,
cater
yeah.
to more to the guys
and that's
that pay.
what
Makes sense.
and that's what some bride-to-be's don't know, right? They're like,
Yeah.
oh, we're getting a great price, but in reality, they booked 30 weddings at the full price, and then you somewhat fall to the bottom of
Right, so-
that list. So
I'm not saying they won't do
No,
it.
no, no,
but,
of course.
But if I need to go give that extra mile, I'm going to give it
who's
to the
gonna go
guy.
exactly?
you know.
So that's another thing to keep these in mind too. I mean, again, it's all advice and based what we experienced and based what we heard, and you know the knowledge. So always keep that in mind too.
Sure.
You never know. And another thing too, what some vendors do, they're like, oh, example, again, they give you some great discount only today at the show, right?
Yeah.
But come on, like who
We
are
all
we
know.
kidding?
We
Who
all
are we
know.
kidding? And also too, one thing is have your questions ready.
Yeah.
Like come with a list of questions to ask the vendors you want to know more about.
That makes sense.
Like
That
don't
makes-
go with no questions, because again, everyone has questions. So pretend you're on the phone, like a phone conversation, but just you're in person. So have
Yeah.
questions ready. So if you want to really know more about a vendor, well, come prepared. You know, because I like preparedness too, because it makes me allocate my time to you, saying, okay, they're serious, not just a passing by, right? So always important. Have your like 5 questions saying, I know last year and many years, they always ask how many years in business, did you do a wedding at this venue? You know, come prepared with your questions. So then you know, like, okay, the vendor knows what they're talking about. And how do they answer the questions too? Is the vendor unsure? Are they scared to answer certain questions? Or do they just brush you off to make more people pass by, not take too much of their time? Are you feeling
true.
rushed?
Yeah.
Because remember, everyone's walking by, right? Like you have your booth, whatever, your table, and everyone's just walking by, right? So the ones that are serious, I'd say stop and actually talk to that vendor,
Yeah.
because we're there to help you. We're making the best of the show to help you and guide you to pick the vendors for your wedding, right?
Yeah.
Who you want to work with. So consider it as a mini interview, like I said. Just
Job
ask-
interview.
Exactly, because then I could answer the questions for you, saying, yeah, you know what, this, that. And if we hit it off, we book a consultation. And then, you know, at least it's potentially signing the contract. So it's a good way to know more and book that's what I like to do, have a conversation, book a consultation, and I always remind said potential client, like, hey, don't forget I'm from the wedding show, blah blah blah, or meetings in a week. Okay, great. and we go from there. But consider it as an interview, because you want to know more about that vendor and how do they answer the questions. Are they all shy? Do they don't want to talk to you? Do they brush you off, saying, oh, I'm not talking, wait, go, come back? Like, how do they treat you too, right? Like, are they present? Are they engaging? Because you get to see their body language. You get to see them in real life, not just over the phone or on Zoom, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's one important thing to observe. I'd say observe everything about a vendor that you want to work with. If it's anyone in the, even if it's the venue that you want to book at,
Yeah.
how do the representatives act? How are they dressed? It's everything too, right? It's an image. So do you feel comfortable with them? Don't you? How are they treating other people that walk by? Is there someone they're talking too much to? So look at everything before you want to talk to a potential vendor or even book them. Because maybe I heard stories that, from clients and just people in general that attended wedding shows, were like, yeah, I want to book so-and-so, but I didn't like how they were treating me, or when we're talking, it didn't feel authentic. Well, over the phone, you wouldn't have felt that.
Yeah, exactly.
So at the
Can't
end,
see.
but at the end, it maybe saved you a headache, So that's one thing I like to say to my clients. I'm like, come to the show. I'm going to be there. Come say hi to me, of course. And then I ship them to other vendors.
Do you have a coffee machine?
I wish maybe.
That's it.
You gotta
maybe,
you
That's how
gotta
you're
bring
gonna
them.
try it.
maybe
And
I know.
cannolis.
I know one year I had a coffee, one of the coffee companies behind me. So they passed me coffee on the side.
You can bring a little Nespresso. As long as you have a plug, you're good to go.
No one knows.
And you know what? You know how many clients you're gonna get? You have coffee? Well, fuck
It's
yeah.
true,
How
yeah.
much? How much?
Free. It's on the house.
Free, just
on
on the
the-
contract. It's free.
It's all free.
It's all free.
how many wedding shows would you suggest, like, for a couple to go and see?
And I'm happy you asked that, because
Okay.
I was going to get to that. So there's so many in Montreal, Toronto, you name it, there's everywhere. So I say do your research on said wedding show.
Yeah.
Because some vendors will be a one and maybe not another, because it doesn't represent that vendor's, what type of client they're looking for.
Yeah.
So you go, as an exhibitor, you go where your ideal client will be. That's just the reality. Some vendors, I know they do all of them. I'm like, you're insane. You don't have time. Like, I don't know. Like, I
Yeah.
go one and it's a lot of work to prepare, right?
Yep.
The goodie bags of this, what I'm gonna say, what I'm gonna wear, how I'm gonna design the booth.
Yeah.
There's so much as an exhibitor that goes into it, and that's not only me. It's all the other exhibitors too go through the same thing. You have to plan it out,
And
set
costly.
up,
It's costly.
and it's costly too. So, I mean, every vendor, you do what you want to do, but I know, do your research on the show and who do they target as exhibitors. Like, that's what you have to look as a bride to be, saying, oh, this wedding show is my vendor there. No, where is the vendor I want to work with?
Yeah.
So you follow that to do your research on the show. Where is it located? Where, just look at everything too. But I say as a bride to be, honestly, don't do more than two, because you'll most likely see the same ones.
Yeah.
You're going to see the same ones, but at a different location.
And your friendly neighborhood wedding planner
Yeah.
Yeah,
will have
exactly.
also information that you can relate to. Like, once you've been to one or two,
Yeah.
she'll give you other vendors that say, oh, they do something like that, but a little different
Exactly,
like this.
and
you'll
I
have
can
an idea.
Pointers. Pointers.
As a reference, saying, well, you like that vendor, but maybe you like that one better, and you're gonna be at this show.
Exactly,
Go
yeah.
see
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Even
Nice.
if I'm not gonna be there, I could say you're gonna be there. Okay, go see them.
Well, even ones you've worked with.
Exactly.
If they're
true, yeah,
there.
if they're there, and I know the list is public, so I could see who's gonna be there, and I could tell my clients saying, hey, you want to see this vendor? Let's go see them together.
Very nice approach.
And if I have time, because I have to time it at my booth when it's a bit quiet,
Yeah.
or washroom break, because that's important. I have to
Wait,
make,
you're married now, aren't you?
Yeah.
So he's there.
Yeah, he is gonna be
See?
there.
You see how they learn?
He is gonna
You
actually.
learn.
I learned, you
Actually,
see?
I had the conversation with him a month ago. I'm like, you're coming this year, because if I have to go to the washroom, I'm not mad dashing half the show to use the washroom. Okay.
Right?
You know what I mean? So that's why it's important to time it. And I could sometimes, if I'm free, I could sometimes go with my client and we could see that vendor together, which is fun. I worked with them before, so it's like, hey, how are you doing? This is my client, blah blah blah, and then whatever, and we have a conversation.
Yeah.
So it helps too sometimes that we're all there together, instead of having a Zoom call or a Teams call. It's like we're in person and we can actually have a conversation on the side. You know, because sometimes there's like you could go on the side and actually have a good conversation. So that helps too. But I say after 2, you're just wasting your time because at one point you'll start. Remember too, locations, everything. So see where the away show's located. Like what part of town? Like where is it held? Is it at a venue? Because they're pushing their venue. So you have to see like the vibe that they're giving off. So that's one important thing I want to say. Just keep that in mind.
Absolutely.
Is there a specific time that couples should arrive? Because not all vendors maybe
Right.
are ready.
So-
or maybe there's like the model show,
Yeah,
the dress
so
and the tuxes.
I want to say go for noon or 1. Don't go early morning because all the vendors are tired. We're a little exhausted.
They didn't have their coffee.
So exactly, we don't have our coffee yet. But even in the morning too, if you want to time it, come and like, because usually the show opens at 10 around. So like go, if you come early, you'll get maybe the most energy depending the vendor. Like for me, I'm ready to go. So if you come see me, I'll be ready to go. But during midday, okay, it's just a lunch crowd, you know, okay, they're just passing by. Between 9 and noon, I say is the best time. And then after, like, come at 2 or 3 before the show closes because there's less people.
Okay.
So time it out, time everything, you know, timing is everything. But I say, like, come early. If you want to see a vendor in particular, come early because most likely there'll be no lineup. So go see them early. You could actually have a good conversation, maybe even book a meeting with them after, you know, whatever. But that's the time you do it, is come early or come midday, because if not, it's going to be swamped of people.
Oh my God.
It's going to be a lot
Yeah,
of
it's
people.
busy.
Yeah, I know it's
I
very
used to do a lot of them. I did it for a few years.
Yeah.
wedding shows?
I did a lot of wedding shows, yeah.
I love that.
Which was good. Now it's not worth it in the
Yeah.
sense that for me as a vendor, because I mean, I do music. So I used to do them when we were allowed to play. Because I can't showcase what we do.
It's weird,
Now
it's
we
like-
can't because
Yeah,
it's
makes
too
sense.
loud.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Makes sense.
Imagine you can be. Yeah, and you can't. Yeah, it's a
So
lot.
I complained for years. I knew the owner of one of the biggest ones.
Yeah.
And I said, man, I want to fucking advertise, but I
Yeah,
can't.
it's hard.
I said,
yeah.
because if I'm not allowed to play, all that happens is that the clients come to see me and then they got to come and see me again.
Yeah,
Right? Whereas I want them to see me play. This
Yeah.
is what we do.
exactly.
Go home, think about it, and if you're interested, you call me and we can sign.
And you could do like
Yeah.
a little set or something, but here you can't. They
Right?
don't permit it.
So
yeah.
a couple of years, what they did is they made us play as part of the fashion show. So I
smart.
struck a deal. It was me
good.
who
That's
brokered.
good.
I
That's smart.
brokered
I was
the
gonna-
whole thing.
Very good.
You have a fashion show. Give me the first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes
Yeah,
of that
smart,
fashion
yeah.
show.
Good. Hey,
And,
that's smart.
and we showcase what we do, and then we'll have our booth, and we won't
And
play
that's
during.
fine. Yeah.
And it worked big time. And then after,
He caught on.
and then then
Other people.
everybody, all other bands wanted to do the same thing,
Exactly.
and then they said, well, now we can't have 20 bands playing.
Imagine.
and-
Yeah, it's a lot
and
of.
so
a lot of
then they
time.
stopped having not they didn't stop having bands. It's just they stopped having bands play. So
Yeah.
now I can't show you what I could
Exactly.
do. So,
It's like, oh yeah, that's what we play, but it's hard to imagine, you know.
and you've already seen the video because we posted online. So if I could put a TV screen,
But
yeah, I
no,
was going to
yeah.
say that.
but you've already seen that video. Like
you could Google.
Yeah,
you could.
there's-
on
they
your-
want to
yeah.
see it live. It's live. The feeling live.
It
is,
can't be live. You
Exactly.
can't.
Yeah,
you
you can't
can't.
blame
That's
them
just the
either.
reality.
Yeah. Speaking of bands playing, what's one of our segments
Yay.
here?
Yay.
Hey,
Our
what's
next segment
Yes.
is.
So the song First Dance.
Yes,
song.
Val's first
Oh,
dance.
I love this segment.
So
I love all segments.
for
Okay,
this
go on.
episode, it'll be Chasing Cars by Snow Patrol.
Snow Patrol.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful tune.
I haven't heard many of it, like at many weddings, this song, but I'd like to.
Nice.
I would like that. Anyone getting married, just play it for me. I'll be
It's a
happy.
great song.
It's very underrated, I find. Like it's no one like his either slow dancers are super slow or they're more fast paced, but nowhere in the middle.
Yeah.
It's
How
like
important is the opening dance? Isn't it like
it's
very
the
important.
it's the dance that everyone waits for.
Right?
Like, even I remember I did a wedding that a lady really had to go to the restroom. Like she really had to go, and she comes up to me because she figured I'm the planner with my clipboard, my pink clipboard, by the way, must I specify? And she's like, "When is the first dance?" I'm like in a minute. She's like, "Okay." She's like, "I'm gonna watch it and then go to." I'm like, "Okay, you do you." But that's why it's important. Everyone waits for it. So make sure your first dance is memorable and you don't regret
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, we had
I'm
a
just
couple.
saying.
We had a couple. I had a couple of special ones in the last couple of weeks because one of them. So my bass player got married,
Oh,
and his now he's the leader. He's the band owner.
I think
Daniel.
I worked with her at the wedding.
Yes, you worked with Veronica. That's right.
I worked with Veronica. Yeah,
And so she surprised him because she plays violin.
she was amazing. Like
She sang a song to him, and I saw him crying on the dance
Oh,
floor.
yeah.
Yeah,
I love it.
but
Oh
she
my
called.
God.
She called me before and said, "Hey, I want to sing this song. Do you mind if we learn it?" I said, "Not a problem.
I
The
love
band will play it."
that. That's
so
so
we did
nice.
Shania Twain, "Still the One."
oh,
That
She
is
came
so
on stage.
nice.
He
That's
was
stunning.
shocked. He turned.
well, you
white.
don't. He did. You don't expect that.
He didn't expect
You're
it.
minding your own. You're
Yeah.
doing your thing.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so romantic.
That's
I
was
love
so
very nice.
cute.
It
I
was
mean, if
very
you have the talent, if you have the band behind you, why not take advantage?
yeah.
You
I
know?
love it. I
It was
love
fun.
the concept. I love it. So original. and
Yeah,
it's
so
hard.
do something original, and that's why the songs play a big part, right?
Yeah.
For that moment, you know, pretty
Absolutely.
much. That's how I see it.
And we just did one Sunday a couple of days ago with the big dry ice show.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
they wanted Ti Amo. They wanted something
Of course,
original,
classic. You can't go
Ti
wrong.
Amo. I think you chose that as one of your songs.
It
once.
was my main entrance song was like the remix, like the club mix
Oh,
of
okay,
Tia.
of
Sarah
Tia-
Petit
Get
Tia.
Tia.
It was a mix.
Yeah.
I actually saw it on TikTok again. And I'm like, that's interesting. So that was our entrance song when we walked in.
Wow.
Like it was more high beat, high energy.
Yeah.
Because I want something,
Sure.
And then our first dance was Yellow by
Yellow,
Coldplay. So I'm
yes.
like, that was
Beautiful.
cute. And it was funny. I don't think I ever said, because so I'm a big Enrique Iglesias fan. Okay.
Yes, we know.
Huge fan, Enrique. If you're ever watching this, I'm a big fan.
Yes.
Call me. I'll plan whatever wedding you want.
You let me know. I'll fly to Spain, okay? But so I originally wanted that song for first dance. That was Hero by Enrique. Like I really want song, but my now husband, he likes Coldplay. I'm like, fine, you know what? I'll let it be.
See?
But
Beautiful.
what I sort of convinced him to do was
Is laundry.
not only that, but for our we did a last dance,
Okay.
which we played Hero. So I got my Hero.
nice.
I got my song. I'm like, yeah, that's what I wanted. So like it was like already late in the evening, and I already told the DJ, like, cause I worked with the DJ before. So I
Pascal?
told
No, was
Joey.
it Joey,
It
okay.
was Gold Star, but Joey.
I was with Pascal Saturday.
Yeah. So one of the guys in this team, and I told Joey, like on the phone when we had a meeting, I'm like, I want a last dance and to play Hero. And I'm like, timing in my mind, my planner brain, I'm like, hey, we're gonna have enough time to do it. So I hear Hero and I grab my husband. I'm like, we're dancing. He's like, okay. I'm like, this is the last dance we're doing as husband. Like, we're gonna dance to the song. I don't care if anyone's leaving. They could wait. You see? They could
Right
wait.
now.
So people were leaving, and I'm like, no. I'm like, I'm dancing with my husband to my favorite
Go
song.
get another sandwich or something.
Go get a coffee,
Go
okay?
get a coffee. Yeah,
Leave
there's a
me
coffee
alone.
machine
There
there.
he is. Go. I'm dancing. So I got my last dance.
Bring the coffee going on the
Amazing.
dance floor.
And I was very happy with that. So I got Coldplay, Yellow, and then I got
Yellow.
Hero.
Sweet.
And that was it in a nutshell. So I was a very happy camper, yes. I was very happy with
Now,
that.
do you have a thought of the day?
Yes. So I saw this on Reddit because Reddit seems to be somewhat credible and makes sense to
Okay.
some degree. I live on Reddit. Sometimes I'm like,
Yeah,
it is what it
they
is.
have good stuff there.
Sometimes it makes sense. So I saw someone posted, whoever it is, I don't know who, but they said make sure you focus on the guest experience. So anyone like the guest at your wedding, make sure you focus on that. And don't lose sight of it. Make sure it's memorable for the guest.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have to be anything crazy, but it's something fun for them or interactive or make them feel special. Because they're coming all the way from wherever to celebrate your big day.
It's true.
And you want something memorable, if it's the coffee station or something personalized, or let's say if you're doing a destination wedding, you have like a little beach bag, with a monogram and stuff,
Yeah.
like make sure their experience is just as good as yours because
Yeah.
they're coming to celebrate your day. So I find it's important
They're spending
not only that,
their
but
time
they're,
and money.
They're coming. You don't know what they had to go through to make it on
Yeah,
your special day,
absolutely.
right? Travel arrangements, work, kids, you name it, right? So
Yeah.
it's important to think about them, and because if not, well, without them, it wouldn't be the same.
Exactly.
So that's how I see it. Always think about your guests. They're there for you to celebrate your love story. So even if it's a little, let's say I know people have like hangover kit bags. Sometimes they say, oh, after, take one, or sometimes they have a coffee station, or I know sometimes in like the washrooms they have like take what you need basket, like just a little something. I did that, and I always tell my couples to do that if they can. Like something little goes a long way.
Yeah. Lisa, what's your not rebuttal, but what's your
Rebuttal?
Extension to what she said?
Yeah.
The thought of the thought of the day.
thought of the thought.
The thought of the thought.
The thought of the thought.
I actually I want to go touch on your making the people who attend and making memorable. Because some of our family members, let's be honest, they're elderly.
It's true.
And these are people that you can either photograph yourself with or videotape and keep that memory alive, that they were there and they were able to witness that moment. So
That's very true.
That goes hand in hand with thinking about your guests.
Yeah, it goes a long way, and trust me, the guests will. I've seen it. They will appreciate it.
And I think you know what they'll you sort of they admire you for acknowledging
thinking.
that.
It's not like they're like, oh, whatever. No, it makes sure that you care about them.
Exactly, and it you see it.
Do I get a thought?
Sure.
Do you have a thought?
I
The
do.
thought of the thought of the day.
I'm the third thought.
The third thought.
I'm the third thought of the thought.
You're the third thought?
And it's the best thought.
Of course, it is the best thought.
Make sure they
There's
all
a
drink.
wine.
Make sure they drink enough not to remember
God,
our
how did I know
fucking
that
thing.
was coming?
I could have called that one. Yes.
I
Open
knew
bar.
that one was coming.
Right?
Open bar, people. Open
Who
bar.
doesn't appreciate that?
It's true. And mocktails too, because
Right?
you never know. But
You're becoming very, very predictable.
Damn. I was a guest at his wedding. Well,
you were sort of.
Well, I was invited.
Guest.
I worked. I mean, I played.
I was gonna say. I mean.
But I was still a guest. Let's put it this way: I gave a gift, so I was
Okay,
gonna eat
fair
it.
enough.
You're
drink.
allowed.
And I was trying to get everyone to drink, and everyone
Of
was
course.
like wussing out. I brought the trays.
Wussing out.
I got the
I
trays.
have to see. I wish I was there, just as
Just
a
to
little.
fly, you
just
know?
They were
Lisa
like-
and I flying
Fly
around.
on the tray.
They were like, "Oh,
He
I
probably
can't have
swat us,
another.
but anyways.
I can't have another. I had
Probably,
one."
Who are these?
no shots. Now we're gonna have to.
Did you say no shots?
Now we're gonna have to curb you. No wine.
No.
Okay, I'm cutting this whole part of the
No, I put
podcast.
you.
I
No, I
edit this
put
thing.
you.
I edit this thing. This
Edit
is
it.
gone.
Damn it. He's
Gone.
editing us out, Lisa. We're not putting.
No. I'm gonna post a podcast of me talking.
No. There's going to be a little blurb at the bottom saying, I don't know what the hell they're saying. Yeah, I know you. He's going to write something.
By the way,
yeah, right, or something
full
like that.
disclosure, you know the little asterisk. By the way,
By the way, yeah.
These two are drunk.
I have done that, by the way.
Yeah.
I won't do it on yours.
Oh.
But I have done that on
I've seen some of the
previous-
comments about me.
I know.
I don't say anything, but I'm like, fuck her.
But they were funny. Say the truth.
I'm like, I could actually hear you saying it. I could actually hear you saying it. Like, for that.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I
On
can hear you.
that
I told her
note-
if we were two flies on the train,
Swat.
he'd freaking swat us with a shoe.
No, a tissue, not
A
even
tissue. We'd be like,
Not
just for that, I fucking go in your shots. And I take a piss.
What is happening? Wow.
And you wouldn't know because it's tequila, it's white.
Luckily, we're done. Luckily, the time's up because this
I
is
can
going.
so picture that. Why can't I can picture him walking the dance
I can
floor.
picture you.
Like la-di-da-di-da. He shoots them away. We're not leaving.
You land on his head. Like a mosquito.
Oh boy, ladies
Even
and gentlemen.
worse.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh, God.
Wedding Chimes with Val has gone off the edge. It is over.
Why can't I picture that? I could actually.
I can picture him talking with
Yeah.
the words.
I could. Oh, he's editing. Fucking shit. What
Yeah,
is-
wait till I edit this one. This will be fun.
I know, I could see that it's going to be like
It's
one
gonna
thing
be.
after.
Oh man.
Val,
Alrighty.
thank you so much
Of
for
course.
this enthusiastic and
Very
very
enthusiastic.
informative
How you doing,
podcast. Wedding Chimes with Val is awesome. So guys, keep watching, keep subscribe. Get more ideas
Yes.
and have a beautiful wedding. Ciao, guys.
Bye.